Josh Henry filling in for Danny Nokes. You're listening to Supersports 101.7, The Clubhouse, live from the McAdoo Studios in Radford. And that first hour was okay, but I had to stretch out a little bit. I had to get a little limber. I had to work out the kinks, Nate.
He was in the hall doing calisthenics. I've never seen anyone do push-ups in this hallway before, but
exactly.
He seems rejuvenated.
I just had to I had to let it all out. I had to get all the nerves out, you know. And now we're back for hour 2, and it is finally time to talk some NFL football. But we got to start with the. It's turned into the depressing story of the week, Nate. Eli Manning, benched in New York, a legend of the New York Giants, 2 Super Bowl rings, 210 straight starts in his NFL career, will all come to an end this weekend as somehow the Giants found a way to troll their own fan base even more. They will be starting Geno Smith, the former starter for the New York Jets. Any Jets fan can tell you, hey, that guy sucks. And he will be starting for the Giants this weekend in a move that has basically been criticized from every corner of the NFL universe. Giants fans are pissed. People outside of the Giants organization don't understand why it's happening. Players in the Giants organization don't understand why it's happening. Eli Manning was crying on TV about it. Like, this is just, it's just sad. It's gross because it doesn't make any sense. The team they're already 2-8. They're already terrible. Why not just let Eli go? And I said it earlier in the week with Danny, and if you'd like to join us too, hit us up on the Phillips Real Estate Hotline, 888-639-4900. We're talking about Eli Manning benched for the Giants. But earlier this week I said, it doesn't really make sense to take out a guy when you're already trying to lose who's not effective. Why not just let him lose? Let him finish it out, ride it out, just like Chuck Pagano in Indianapolis, like Hugh Jackson in Cleveland, all the bad quarterbacks that they have. Just what is even the point of humiliating a guy on top of already being on a terrible team? Just let him ride it out, get rid of him this offseason, no harm, no foul. But instead, the Giants found a way to just make this infinitely worse than it had to be, especially since they're not going to fire Ben McAdoo until the end of the season. If you're going to pick one guy, why not pick the terrible head coach whose play calling has been bad all year, who hasn't helped Eli all year? It just doesn't make any sense. It's a weird situation. Now it's a sad and pathetic situation. Even Phillip Rivers came out and talked about how the Giants handling him. And he said, I honestly thought it was pathetic. And obviously, like Phillip Rivers, you think that might be kind of random, but these two guys have been linked together forever. They were traded for each other on draft night in 2004 because Eli and his family didn't want him playing in San Diego. The Chargers are now in Los Angeles, but at the time they were in San Diego. And he forced his way out. So the Giants took Rivers, they traded him for each other, and now we see historically both guys will have quite the legacy in the NFL. Rivers never won a Super Bowl, might not at this point, but he's put up some pretty incredible passing numbers. I talked about it with Danny, how he statistically at least is a top 10 passer all time. And Eli's got 2 rings. He took down the metaphorical giants of the NFL. The New England Patriots took him down twice. The only guy to do it. Does it make any sense? No, of course it doesn't. This is Eli Manning, the same guy who makes the silliest faces, the best memes in all of the NFL is Eli stinking Manning. But it's hard not to feel for the guy when he's put in a situation where he's set up to lose with such a terrible offensive line. He's going to take a pounding even though he's 36. And he goes out there anyway. He's played 210 straight starts for the New York Giants. He's been all class for that organization. He's tried to win. He has won in the past. And now he's being benched for a guy who in the same city was god-awful just a couple of years ago. It's a big stinky joke. And Ben McAdoo is at the head of all of it. And it's sad. And maybe even the saddest part, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but what the Giants actually did, they asked Eli if he'd like to start the game to keep the streak going, and then they would bench him in the middle of the game. How stupid is that? That's just insanity. Why would you want to do that? And of course Eli turned it down, thank goodness. Because, records are cool, but that just takes away from it by saying, like, oh, we're just going to put him out there as a figurehead and then bench him because we don't want him to play. That's just gross.